Bonjour.
Hello, we're two brothers talking.
No.
That doesn't help.
So we have decided we need to have an intro, and that's not going to be it. So, we are two brothers talking. I'm Avery. That's Matt.
I'm Matt. Hello.
And we talk about random topics, and it's my turn to pick. Matt doesn't know what's coming.
I don't.
And I'm kind of excited about it. So,
tell me.
We are going to talk about extreme body modification.
Something neither of us know anything about.
Correct.
Ours is a slow, mundane, deliberate process full of
it's
Dr.
mostly
Pepper,
a widening.
cake,
it's a widening of the body.
We are very methodical in our body transformations. It's
right.
quite a science. Quite an art or a science. Okay, tell me. Let's go.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about like earrings, right? Like not even gauges. Maybe some gauges that are like this big.
Okay.
But
well, those guys in the bush that have the big things in their lips.
The ring.
Yeah. We're not talking about that.
No,
I imagine
that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the ladies that have the neck things that make them.
Okay.
You know, the big. This is what brought this up. Is I was reading an article on this process. Like it actually doesn't lengthen the neck; it pushes the shoulders down. It's
interesting.
Oh, and it's awful for you.
Of course, I'm sure that it is.
I know, hard to believe that having a neck this long is bad for you, but it is.
Now, we are in no way trying to offend any cultures, religions, or anything like that. If you don't like us, what we're doing, don't watch us. But we're not trying to do that.
Nope. And if you've decided that is what's right for you,
do it. We are in full support.
We're in moderate support.
Moderate support of you doing it.
Yeah. Middling to nothing support. That's what we are.
So that's the kind of stuff. Okay, so we're not talking about the Russian who put in bicep implants.
Oh no, let's talk about that.
Okay, all right, cool.
No,
I don't know if he's
so
Russian.
I just want to have a discussion about body modification has many different forms, right? We led this whole conversation off with our version of body modification, has a lot to do with the midsection.
Indeed.
But you talk about like teeth. Americans are obsessed with body modification.
Yes.
Teeth whitening, going to the gym to work out to get big hulking muscles, or even just to get trim. You know, I've never been a girl, but apparently that's a thing. Like they want to be skinny.
They
Who knew?
Or different, right?
So body modification in the United States is not a unusual thing. Where it starts to get kind of out in the weeds a little bit is when you get these people that are saying, I really, really want to make a statement with my body. And I'm going to do that by adding a ring around my neck for the next 50 years until my neck is, 14 inches long.
Okay.
I'm going to do that by adding rings in the holes in my ears until they are 6 inches big.
I am going to tattoo the inside of my eyelid right here.
Right.
Okay.
So I want to discuss the what's your opinion of the some of that is cultural, okay? So like you talked about the guys in Africa that do this thing, right?
Right.
That's cultural, right? The lengthening of the neck thing, that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
It happens both in Asia and African culture.
The geishas that wear the shoe things and all that stuff.
Yep, to keep their feet nice and tiny.
Right.
Yeah, that's a cultural thing. So I'm not talking about those people. right?
Yes.
What I want to talk about is the people that, like you were talking about this Russian dude, that I think he's the guy that, he died eventually, didn't he?
I don't
his
know.
muscles.
I don't know if he's dead or not.
Okay, well, so I remember reading, and this was years ago, so I cannot remember anything important about it. Except for the fact that the guy, like, injected his biceps, right?
Yes.
And they got bigger and bigger and bigger until they became, like, rock corpuscle, nasty, whatever.
Yeah.
And he died from blood poisoning or something like that.
So you're asking what I think about all this stuff? The extreme modifications to your body for attention?
Well, I want to talk about
addiction?
The mental side of it, if we can.
Okay.
So, like...
I just got out of psychiatry schooling for the past 12 years. I went to be a psychiatrist. So I know the inner workings of all the...
Let's clarify. He just got out of the loony bin, is what happened.
Right.
He had some psychiatry performed on him.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
They were schooling on me. No, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here's the thing. We live in the United States where, for at least the next little while, I believe that we have the freedom to express ourselves the way that we desire.
Correct.
And if you would like to do things to your body to enhance it or to change it or to loosen it or to tighten it or to expand it or shrink it, I believe that you have the absolute right to do that. What I have a problem with, and you can do it to the nth degree that you desire. It does not bother me one bit. I will not, at a restaurant, I will not sit further away from you. I will not shield my children's eyes from you. I don't care. What I have a problem with is when you think I should do it, and you have a problem that I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's where I have a problem. And it goes all the way down to something as simple as smoking actual cigarettes. We're not talking about vaping or anything. If you blow smoke in my face, or you stand too close and you get upset when I'm like, hey, could you kind of stand away? I just don't want to breathe it. And you start to have a major problem with it. That's where I start to have a problem with it. Because when you're pushing it on me, like I should be okay with it, or that I should do it, and you feel that, then that's where I have the problem. If you want to do it, great. Fantastic.
What you just said could apply to so many topics.
Of course it could. It absolutely could.
So many topics.
And that's what's great about this channel, is that it's our opinion of what we think. And people who continue to watch.
Yeah, but we're right, aren't we?
Oh, always. For sure.
Yeah,
about everything.
I mean, I know I am. I don't know about you, but...
I know you are, and I am. So we are.
Right.
But, right. What are your thoughts on it?
So here's the thing. Let's go back to 1800s. Okay?
Oh, okay. Not applicable at all to today, but go ahead.
No, I'm leading up to that. Don't worry. So, 1800s. If you had a face tattoo, you were a pirate. Like,
acceptable.
Probably not socially acceptable.
No, but if you were a pirate, they would probably grab you and string you up and show you off as an example, because it was not acceptable for them, and that was not their culture.
Right. So fast forward to early 1900s. Okay. You start getting like the arm tattoo, right? Sailor has an arm tattoo, and you know you got some earrings and those types of things, and those types of people, you start looking at the society back then, and they'd look at them and they'd say, well, they're not the hoity-toity high society people, but they're, it's okay. We need those people. They do work, and it's fine. Fast forward to today. For the most part, I mean, face tattoos are still a little kind of out there. You don't see a whole lot of people on Wall Street with face tattoos, I guess is what I'm saying.
No,
you don't see a lot of high-profile, high-powered CEOs with neck tattoos or face tattoos.
Or gauges, right. Or anything like that.
Because for the most part, I would say America they still consider a CEO or a leader of a company as a nice, clean-cut type of person. However, that is changing a lot.
It is. People want to be represented and thought of when you think of a certain corporation or a certain business and it has a stipulation attached to it. That's the values that they want to uphold. It's Chick-fil-A saying my pleasure.
Yep.
You have to say that to work at Chick-fil-A. You don't have a choice. If not, you don't work there. And it's not that they're forcing you to but they're forcing you to do it. I mean, they just have a certain standard they'd like to uphold, and I can appreciate that.
And that's exactly, and again, that's what it comes back to is like, okay, so society has their acceptable standards.
Right.
And then each individual is open, at least in the United States, each individual is open to having their acceptable standards.
And let's take it to the reverse so that other people feel justified here. You're not going to be in a biker club, a certain type of biker club, wearing a three-piece suit with your hair slicked back and a nice line and a clean shaven face. You're not. If you don't have a ZZ Top beard and you don't have tattoos somewhere on your body that are visible, you probably will not be accepted into their club because they have a certain type of...
We got an image to uphold.
An image to uphold. And that's what's wonderful about living in this country is that you say, well, you'll miss out on market share. Well, you may not care about that market share. You may just say, that's fine. I will do what I want to do. And that's the great part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
it. I think the reason I brought this up is because I was like, the things that we see here in this country more regularly are not the neck stretching things or the you see gauges, but you don't see them in the lip, and you don't see bones in the nose, and you don't see that kind of stuff, but you do see tattoos and earrings and lip rings and nose rings and eyebrow rings and just all sorts of body modification. And as a society, we look at those people and we're like, okay, you're welcome to be in our society. That's fine, no problem.
I will say this: I'm perfectly fine with breast enhancements. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Well, I think you should go get some.
Maybe I will.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We are two brothers talking. I'm gonna quit on that note before it gets any worse. Because
we'll stop.
There are other enhancements. Anyway, I have nothing else to say.
Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming all the way to the end. And we'll see you on the next episode. We're excited to keep talking.